What's going on YouTube? This is Chaos Rain here, and it's been a while. It's been a long while, but you know what? It's never too late to bring back my favorite build, Ice Shot. Now, I will make a disclaimer. This build currently is very expensive and not functional in red tier maps, mainly because I just recently got this, and because you get this, you can't freeze and chill, and I have a whole build around chilling and freezing. I can go into that later. But for now, I wanted to show you exactly what farm I used to get to this and, just kind of afford everything that I have here. Nothing crazy. I mean, Age Blood and Original Sins, pretty much, and this are pretty expensive, but everything else is just kind of there. This is like 30, 40 div. I just bought it. And essentially, all I've been doing this entire league is doing Alva. You don't need to do Alva in any specific tier. I got up to red tier maps. My completion is actually pretty solid. I still haven't done some of the easier bosses, but I can. I can do pretty much up to Cyrus, I think. I don't think I can do any Ubers. I can probably do Shaper, I'm not sure. But this is a mapper, it's not a bosser. I could make it a bosser, and I can make a build to do bossing, but I've just been having so much fun double corrupting, and like, this is what I have left, but I still have things that I can sell. Excuse me. As far as this is like 70 div. This mine's the cheapest on the market. It's like 77 to 80 div right now, just for the increased damage. But yeah, this league is pretty fun. I've had a lot of fun. I've made a lot of cool things. I actually made one of these helmets with the reduced mana reserve plus, like, I think it was aura gems, and I sold it for 50 div. I spent 10C on the base and self farmed the temples myself. And what we're doing exactly is we're sustaining strand maps, and we're taking and using these scarabs here. Basically, I've just bought bulk of all the scarabs, so I can just keep running this strategy or any strategy adjacent to Alva. Thing is, with Alva, you don't need to run Alva scarabs, but you can. You can juice your temples and just get a bunch of gold if you want. But I chose to do it this way, which is just running Delirious Alvas. I have all my maps dropping in white tier 3 maps, tier 3 to 5 maps, with 8 corrupted modifiers. When I kill the temple bosses, or sorry, when I finish the temple for the last temple for the map, it drops an itemized temple, which can be level 1 to 3. It's randomized, so basically you just kind of check here before you start. If you have like a corruption chamber on your first room, that's really good. You can get easily 5 like corruption chambers per one run. If you get like a corruption chamber or a gem table here or here or wherever, any of the first rooms that you're connected to, it's a cool strat. I'll show you what I mean. Anyway, back into the strat. We have we only use this when we have a corruption chamber that is linked to us, basically. If we get a corruption chamber and it's not linked, we don't want to risk it, so we don't do it. Then we run the maps found have layers delirium. We are running tier 3, so we find a lot of maps. All of the excess maps we just feed to our mappers. I have a very late start, so my my whole King's March isn't even maxed. I just maxed my farm so I can try and get cool farm dudes. And then we have 2 additional shrines. We are running a shrine build, hence the goal. We have a RME on the goal with a couple auras. I didn't do the research, but I don't know for sure if this is necessary with this corruption. But if it's not, it's not. I got this anyway. It's 20 div, it's whatever, I don't care. And then we have increased map found in the area for each map modifier affecting the area. This is really good when you have a minimum of 8 modifiers, and you can get more if you use the other map scarab, which adds another modifier. Then you have 2 additional shrines. Again, we're doing shrines, and we're taking all of the domination nodes and stuff. If you want to look at our atlas tree, it's pretty simple. You just take scarabs, this alva, It's just Alva and Scarabs and Shrines. Alva, Scarabs and Shrines, and then map stuff here, map stuff here. We can randomly get crafts. These work on low tier maps, so that is something to note. You can farm white tier maps and blitz them to the end. Now, the reason we're doing shrines is because we want to go zoom and we want the security. I am running an iShot build with like Z survivability. I do have this. This helps. I do have cast when damage taken set up. I have stuff to keep me alive in red tier maps, along with my old build, which was freezing them. I have. I'll pull up that build later. I'll just re-equip everything and show you guys exactly what I mean. But for now, let's just get into the strategy. Basically, this is white map. You just blow everything away. As you see, I have no survivability. I am dying in a white map. Um, I will be building another build to do something with. I probably should have turned my game volume down, so let me go do that real quick. I'll take a... Ooh, charge and acceleration. That seems good. So options, sound. Let's turn it off for now. I'll turn it on low. Alright, perfect. And when you have acceleration, it's like having a header. Now, this build, the build I have can run red maps if you run the freeze version. So this is not a white map build. I am still unable to run T17s. I haven't played in a couple of leagues, so I don't know like what the threshold of tankiness versus DPS I'm gonna need to do, how much investment I'm gonna need to have, so on and so forth. So I can get into that whenever I get to it. It's probably in the future leagues. There's my Alvas. Because I have the goal, my shrines last for like a minute and a half, including the acceleration shrine. I think the only one that doesn't last for a minute is the divine shrine, but that shrine is like one out of every 30 to 40 maps it shows up. It's not even worth it when it does, because it only lasts like 30, 40 seconds with the buff, so it's like whatever. It's like, and plus, increasing the effect of you taking no damage is still you taking no damage, so who cares? The acceleration shrine is essentially a divine shrine because you just shoot a million times off screen. This build is fully elemental element immune. I am in the process of corrupting Feral's Furs. I'm currently low on div, so I'm probably gonna wait until I get more div before I do more, or I'll corrupt something else to make more profit, and then do it. Like basically, this whole league has just been me farming temples. So yeah, if you don't already know how to do temple, I recommend looking it up or something like that. But basically, you just look at the two rooms and pick one. Because I have all of the notables on temple, I can just pick whatever one. Usually, what I'll do is I'll pick the one that's most or the least annoying. Because I'm running white maps, they're all not really annoying. They don't really have consequence. You just do whatever you want. And yeah, level of temple doesn't matter for corrupting. So why wouldn't you just run them in white maps and turbo farm them? And the only reason I'm running the Deli farm is because like it's just free stuff on top of it. You can obviously get way more currency if you did the same farm in red tier maps, and like a lot more. I only get like 1 to 2 KS a map and a couple of like bubble gum here and there, but like that's not why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because like all I'm aiming for is the corruption chambers, and everything else that I have with the corruption chamber is just gravy at that point. And I've made so much profit that it's just it is what it is. I can run it the way I want to run it. I can dump my profit into juicing up tier 3 maps and being a Pepega. But yeah, pretty much this is what we're doing. All of the non oh there we go. There's a corruption chamber. So all of the non strand maps because I just want to run the strand. That the reason being is because strand is very open, it's very linear. You don't have to worry about too much, and even the maps that are like super drop heavy, where you get a bunch of stuff to loot, you can just go backwards and walk right out the portal. Especially with Acceleration Shrine and Mage Blood and all this other stuff, you're just going to like zoom, 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 and you're going to be good. So here we did change it. It doesn't matter what we actually. I think we only have one choice of a door we can open. It's halls. Yeah, halls. And then if we go here, look at the temple, it'll say corruption chamber, and it actually says tier 2, so that means we got lucky and it upgraded as well. Um, so we're pretty, or I think it was a tier 1 room, and one of our nodes says if we switch, it gains the tier of the other one. So either way, it's at tier 2 already, and we haven't even done anything. And next map, we can roll the dice, put this in, and we have a 1 in 3 shot of getting a corruption chamber tier 3. Now you can probably do this on like a budget build, obviously. My build is overly expensive for what it is doing, but I am playing the build I love, so don't think that this build is necessary to do tier 3 maps, please. It's not. This is just what I'm doing because I really love to double corrupt stuff and it's made me an insane amount of profit. I'm going on like I think 2+ mirrors worth of just raw expensive items that I've corrupted, sold, so on and so forth, and I've it's all been profit, every single bit of it. I've dropped 2 raw divines my entire playthrough through this league, and again, my King's March isn't even maxed, so I'm not getting all that much from them yet. Eventually, hopefully by the end of the league, I'll get a couple mirror shards and stuff, but you know, it's not what I'm doing. Uh, it is profitable, and if you want to run red maps to get your stuff up, I recommend it, honestly. I recommend doing pretty much any strategy that you want to do. But if you like gambling, this is the strategy, really. This is a very smart and easy strategy to pick up. You don't even have to invest a lot. You don't even have to use the scarab I'm using if you don't want to until you have some profits. I was just farming the temples themselves, and it's like once you have the nodes, every 3 maps is a temple instead of every 4 maps. So you're just gonna you're gonna get them whether you like it or not. And I did some a little bit of gambling that it's some smart gambling, some just gambling. I bought a Awakened GMP, corrupted it at 620, ended up selling it for like a 20 div profit. And it's a gamble. You could just outright brick it and lose like 5 to 10 div off of the top of it, but like who cares? That's part of the gamble. I didn't, and it was marked in the profit books. My losses, I wouldn't even count my losses because mostly my losses were just kind of negligible. And that's not true. I did poof a Mage Blood. I actually I actually double corrupted 3 Mage Bloods so far, and one of them hit rarity crit multi, which I traded 1 to 1 to the original sin. So for reference, original sin is 1.2 mirrors. Anyway, enough of me talking. That's basically what we do. And in the map, I think we got like 8k gold. It's usually like 8k per map. You do the map super quick. We always get scarabs because we're expecting the scarabs. And what is this? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 scarabs that we got that map. And we over sustained, and all of these excess ones that we have, we just feed to our mappers. Excuse me. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And then if you look here, now we have our corruption chamber primed and ready. So next map, what we do is we pop out, let's see, I think it is this one. No, this one. We put it in this one. And this one will roll. It says final architect slain will drop an itemized temple. Temples dropped generate based on the current temple layout, but randomized room tiers. So if you have a corruption tier 1, it will randomize 1 to 3. I've had it to where I got four back to back. The way you get four is basically, if you want to, you can unspec this node here. This says your incursions have four incursions instead of three. Normally you take four maps. So what I did is I saw a corruption chamber right next to my entrance, and I was like, all right, well, let me unspec this node. And then I literally dropped back to back to back to back corruption chambers. And if you didn't want to gamble with the corruption chambers, you don't have to. You can actually just sell them. There are, on average, one div plus. I think at this point in League, when everyone's corrupting everything, they have a bit of a higher price because everyone wants to corrupt their builds and, go out with a bang, and all the people chasing crazy wild corrupts will buy a bunch of temples. But I haven't sold a single temple, and I've basically built all of my build from scratch because of it. So it is what it is, if you know what to corrupt. I went out and spent like th- not even like 100 chaos on Crown of Eyes and got one lucky corrupt, ended up selling it for 50 div, like I said before. It's a fun strat. Um, would I recommend it? Absolutely. I would recommend playing a build that makes sense. This build is it's just my favorite build. It isn't functional in red maps, but I will make another video showing the functional version of this build and what I did to, kind of max it out to a point to where I felt like, all right, cool. And then converted to the original sin because I like the original sin as a ring. I've never played with it, and I do plan to make a build with it this league, or in standard, depending on how long, how long and what I do. Anyway, it's good to be back. It's good to be posting videos. And as always, everybody, take it easy. Have a good one. And yeah, take care.